Hello, my name is Kevin Bateman, and this is Kevin Bateman Presents, formerly known as events in spiritual places that people have forgotten to visit. And this is Valley of the Spring in Marsaskala, Malta, a hotel once owned by General Gaddafi, which he did visit frequently. This poem is called Smile. While I eat you, I want you to think about killing yourself and know that your life is worth so much more than them. Every single politician should be thrown off the cliff or into a bog, no matter what party they are with, instead of you. You are important. Just think what they have done to get to that position. Why should we venerate them? No black seduction. This poem is called The Irish Blood. A gentle winter. There is a poison in our lungs. I see spiders in my dreams. I always have. The evil look of constant birth. They do not know whose blood they have in them. I can hear voices in my dreams. The things that dreams talk about. Death is in his cursed eyes. We are only dreams. Death is going to be interesting. Thank you. And I give you Yogi Paulo.
What's this? Is this live?
No.
You just practice it.
We couldn't get live.
Are we
recording?
Recording. Okay. I haven't prepared the fire yet. I didn't. I'll just do that.
You can leave it if you want.
Well, I think I'll have to because it takes time. Okay. Right, we show you first of all, we bring a little bit of light. Light is in here. This is called a Tesla coil, invented about 1890 by Nikola Tesla, who was a great inventor. Who invented AC mains, the electric motor, and a few other things. Anyway, we're going to switch it on. It's a little bit bust, but it works. Here we go. And there's a fluorescent tube. Put it by, and it lights up. No wires. Shows you can transmit electricity through space and light things up. So you can provide electricity, which is what he wanted to do, free electricity for everybody. And I think that's a really good cause. He was a humanitarian and a philanthropist. Didn't want to make any money out of it. I think it's nice. We take it away and the light goes. Produce an electromagnetic field around the coil. And there you go, you can see the effect. Okay. I don't wish to indulge any more other than show you that. So Nikola Tesla, look him up. Okay. Right, now we go to some poetry and a song. Start with a song.
So I give you Yogi Paulo,
Let's start.
Ringo Starr's cousin.
Yeah, I sure am. Second cousin, not first, but a cousin no less. Right. This is not one of my compositions. It's a Jim Morrison song, which I like. Someday soon, someday soon, familiar freaks will fill your living room. Rugs lash out their lizard tongues. You're not getting young. You're not getting young. And I hate to remind you, but you're going to die. And you're gonna be needing all of your eyes. You'll be alone when the animals cry, all by yourself in some infancy's lie. Someday soon, someday soon, television bleeding like a harvest moon. Throw the scissors down the hole. You're getting old. You're getting old. And I hate to remind you, but you're going to die. And you're going to be needing all of your lies. You'll be alone when the animals cry, all by yourself in some infancy's lie. Someday soon, someday soon, someday soon, someday soon. Now a few poems. Okay, this is called a scream. A gut-wrenching scream from within. It's a prayer to the Almighty. A painful explosion, an assault on repression and smiling cardboard faces. I, for one, ain't smiling no more. Too many things dear to me have moved on, that's for sure. Let us speak truthfully now of the pain and sorrow that lurks within our hearts, for sure. Vomit the sickness of this plague of the soul out onto pink folded curtains. Only now is it possible of a new dawn to shine brightly. Its radiant majesty percolates my cells in loving gesture. And in turn, the heart accepts this intervention of good soft texture. A true stand against the darkest of nights, a true land which is clear and bright. Right, this one's called Radiance. The radiance you offer is a gift indeed. It oozes out, spilling further and rolling. I feel your glow within. There is reception in this garden, this heaven sent. It exalts without measure and forever relaxing into this direction. A prayer so delightful I continue to fall into poolful eyes with unrestrained quiet cheer. Here exists not tomorrow's days spat from within the hollow earth,
which are always abundantly marching. I can only fear their arrival if they remove me from my bright paradise within. I pray not that this be so. This is called Creation Dances. Love the silence that cares for the world. I love you. All the days of your life, time and space are in my hand, and I make a universe just for fun. Precepts are a real drag. Self-control is repression. Tell the gods to worship you, because your incarnation is unique. There are no repeats. And creation dances to new tunes daily. From you there is always a glow. It comes from a quiet place, from the love field of being that knows no tomorrows. Amen. Nearly done. Tomorrow's dawn. Wandering around a small castle, dumbstruck in a void. The narrow depression departs, leaving me to feel these ghosts and sunny reflections off the lake's surface. Could this be the cause for calculation, as my enemies have good reason to hunt me, for it would be a great gain at this time for them. Although they killed the king, I condemn these wasps who refuse to cause pain to an old man. They did it gently. Did you know my diamond ring is a gift from heaven? But is only allowed out at night when the full moon is in bloom. So forget the old world forged in regret, and fall and sleep now. For we have to arise with the sharpness of steel in this, the final battle that beckons us on tomorrow's dawn. This will be the last one. World on fire. Burning away while the mass suffer a sleeping sickness. All but horizontally are laid in loveless toil. And this midnight tone resigns most of us to fall away from the sweet divine charity of grace. Eyes now turned away from the redemptive smile and eternal descent into the dark night, yet still truth comes equally with crushing certainty, the 0 point. It's armed also, always, with transcendental beauty. It is persistent in its formless presence. Venturing away we cannot play into an unreceptive hand in which each man's fate is cast adrift within a watery ocean until a self-awakening would lend a cure to the emptiest of hearts. Thank you.
And I give you Gillian Hamill.
Hi everyone, thank you very much for tuning in. I'm going to do a few poems now and I hope you enjoy them. The first one is called Bathe. Lean into ivory, watch skin cool and emulsify into ribbons of snow. Stretch my spine, the empty tub languorous, water porcelain trickled gone, and feel the still. Back when I inhaled your sulphur, you were on the tip of my, rolling off the tip of my tongue, spilling betwixt Ivor's oriental bazaar, so you purchase his stillborn seduction, rubbed into your fire-soaked gum. And yes, back then, wait a minute, stop, I would have folded myself up into 1,000 dismal origami minstrels, not to encroach against your noblesse oblige. But I lay back alone in the bath, soft in a hard shell, and knew. This is what it is. This is what it is. This is what it is to be a woman. This next one is called In the Night Sky. I look up and see a vast pinprick in smoulder, swamp-sunk sewers surge, in gland black beneath Starr. I bite back, blood-swilled tang his metal, splintered down, infinitesimal bone-webbed frame. You want to ride the city that birthed you, for she bequeathed your hold in touching skin. Inked purple silver solace soar, in liffey emblazoned, through midnight swoon, soaked in impudent silk. A woman, any woman, child of the river, mark my red, my brown red brown eked in my eclipse. I will defy your command. Okay, and this is the final one. It's called The Review. Sir, I have received anonymous correspondence, the envelope of which is merely marked a damning indictment from a critic who was formerly an admirer of your work, with an address in Sofia, Bulgaria. Would sir care for me to read it aloud? Very good, sir. It opens. I went to see your play, a nasty bang of self-adulation steaming off the suffocating clamminess, the turd of your self-loathing. Rotting onion stewing armpit, bottle that scent and tell us what is meant by your grandiose vision, wherein every character's voice is secondary to your own, proclamation. If you have the courage to examine a perception outside of your confine, wherein you are always El Salvador, born to purge us all, but you don't. And yes, I know what your lily-livered fictitious butler will say. My God, it's outrageous. The cricket is an unloved, bastardized newborn. Even worse, the critic is some fucking bitch, a fetid sewer of everything unelegant in a young lady. Perhaps, sir, you never asked to be put on a pedestal, sir, and torn down unceremoniously, sir, when you failed to live up to our collective guidelines, sir. Or does that only really ever happen to a woman? Because, after all, your lordship, sir, the critic is so very much beneath you, sir, yet simultaneously above you, and all around you, sir, that you can rest assured, I'm honoured to say, sir, that your tower of phallic perfection need never be impregnated by any silly bit of skirt. You keep those fastidiously erected defences to keep out the little people, barricading and burning on fear, sir, all the while preaching love. But we, that is to say, we, the royal we, always the royal we, would have more sympathy were we not so acidic snarled at, sir, when we had the misfortune to accidentally tread in our tossed, torn dreams upon your coat-tails, sir. Well, what would sir bid me do? Toss it in the fire with no response? Very good, sir.
And I give you Sean Wai Keung.
Hey, so I'm going to do a couple of poems from the Dizziness of Freedom anthology. It's by Bad Betty Press. It's an anthology all about mental health, and it's a really good cause, so please look it up. And this is called Are Stars Supposed to Move Like That? The thing they don't tell you about delusions is when they stop. So that even if you now know it's unrealistic to think there are satellites tracking my movements, you don't know how realistic it is to think I am the greatest living poet. Which means you are always doubting yourself, but trust me, those satellites can't see through clouds, and there are always darker places for you to hide out there. This is CBT. The challenge of challenging repetitive thoughts is the feeling of not being in control of those thoughts, and the challenge of feeling not in control of those thoughts is the feeling of repetition in the world, in life. Like when I was challenged by my therapist to look back to create a timeline of my cognitive behavioural history, and I realised then the repetition of my feeling, forever, up, down, bit further, down, way up, less up, down, bit further, down, 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 little, up, down, bit further, down, way up, less up, down, 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 bit further, down, way up, less up, down, bit further, down, 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 little, up, down, 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 up, less up, down, bit further, down. And I felt it then, that feeling of not being in control, that challenge of feeling that this moment in life is nothing but another revolution. And even if it all does ever stop, well then what would happen next? These are from you, I'm mistaken. Over Skype you tell me you are much happier now you aren't in Norwich, and I feel this shooting pain somewhere because I'm in Norwich. Without you I feel less grounded. It's like there's less structure somehow, as if the time we spent together when you were here was a perfectly dimensioned cube, and now it's more like fragments of varying shapes and sizes, and I can't help but wish you were here now, even though I am happy that you are happy now. And you asked me how I'm finding Norwich now, and I launched into this story about some guy with an air pistol who I saw walking down my street. He was shooting at streetlights, and from my position by the third floor window of my bedsit, he looked kind of sad, and it reminded me of that other time I got attacked by a crow. I felt its claws on my head, and I turned to look at it, and it was wearing this frantic, bashful expression as if to say, I don't know why I'm doing this, and I don't know why I'm here, but at least we are both redefining ourselves in some sort of way. And this is my last one. At the checkout, I daydream. You were there. Beep. I think about boats the size of cities, machines which could take us anywhere. Beep. I think about winning awards for my poems or even for being a good human being. Beep. I think about what it would be like to not have to worry about rent. Beep. I think about us. I mean, imagine all the great things we could do. If only we had the money. Beep. 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 If only we had the money. Thank you very much.
Do you think he just hold that there? That bit there?
Hello, my name is Kevin Bateman, and this is Valley of the Spring in Marsaskala, Malta, in the Jerma Hotel, a hotel once owned and frequented by General Gaddafi every year. This is Yogi Paulo.
Hi! Peace!
Ringo Starr's cousin.
Peace and love!
You have to bow. Gillian Hamill. Sean Wai Keung.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all very much.
Woo! Yay!